So is your income like mostly AdSense, or you have sponsors on the podcast as well?
So when I first started, it was mostly AdSense, but I actually licensed out 90% of my YouTube to help pay off my credit cards when I started, build the studio, buy the gear, buy out some partners I had took on along the way.
You licensed it out for like, how does that work?
5 years. There's like these European type, like investment firm types things, where you can give them your back revenue and future revenue for X amount of years and do a deal. So now I only get 10% of my revenue each month. The YouTube pulls in about 15 to 20 grand a month.
Okay.
Where I'm really strong in right now is Spotify and Apple, that they have a new program now that competes with YouTube. My Spotify last month brought in almost 20 grand.
Really?
Just off of that. That's not selling ads.
So you just push your fans to Spotify?
Spotify, Apple, and YouTube.
Okay.
People go to YouTube too. It's because I've learned that if you're a YouTuber, you like your content on YouTube. You like, if you're Apple listener, Apple, Spotify, that.
Yeah, you got to put it everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the main source we're heavy in is social media. So like TikTok, making money on Facebook, you have Snapchat, Instagram doesn't really pay. And then I got ad revenue from sponsors that'll pay me say like 2 or 3 grand to do a host read ad in the podcast. But that's super inconsistent because that bubble's kind of bursting for host read advertising. But luckily like Spotify and that their new program, it literally competes with YouTube revenue.
But so, okay, the investment that you got, they gave you what and you gave them what exactly?
So they gave me my deal. Look, I did 2 separate deals. The first one was for 50% and then the second one was for 40%.
And they just gave you money each time?
Yep. In a lump sum payment, just like how Mr. Beast wired me money. They wire you the money. They're connected. They take your AdSense, like it's their AdSense on your YouTube channel.
And so this entitles them to take 90% of your AdSense as well as the other forms?
No, just YouTube.
Just YouTube AdSense?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just YouTube. And for the X amount of term. And when that expires, I can either redo a deal, which the perk of doing a deal is if I got demonetized tomorrow and shut down, I already got paid. I don't owe any of the money back.
Okay.
So they do a big due diligence process. They're taking the risk, but I've been able to grow it. So like when I did the first 50%, I think I was making like 10 grand a month or whatever just from that. Then when I did the deal, I lost a lot of that, but then I rebuilt it back because I increased my episode output. Yeah. So like I'm not a huge podcaster on YouTube, but like say a perfect example, Johnny Mitchell's say, we'll do 1 episode a week. Say it gets 70, 80, 90, 100,000 views, right? My episodes will average 10 to 20,000, but I could do similar revenue because I'm doing 5 a week that hit that 10 or 20,000 views. So it's not an A-list podcast, but it's doing bigger numbers as if someone that's on.
But does it kind of encourage you to not necessarily hustle in the same way? Because if you make twice as much money this month, it doesn't really matter that much for you since you're just paying back the... Like, is that not?
Well, I'm still hustling because I got that 10%.
Exactly,
like 10% adds up. If I do 30 grand, that's an extra 3K. Right. And I look at my business as a pie. You get a little from TikTok, a little from Facebook, a little here. Every dollar counts. But also there is, on the last deal I did with them for that other 40% I did, there's a bonus. So if I hit X amount, I'll get X amount before the term ends. Okay. So I'm hustling for that bonus. And I want it to look good too. Whenever I do a podcast with someone or anything, I always look at their YouTube because there's so many people that say, I have a podcast. You go to their YouTube, it has 100 views and 100 followers. Yeah. Anyone can have a podcast, but if they're producing good YouTube quality, have the following and everything, that's normally a telltale sign they're legit.
So if you finish this contract, which how many more years do you have left on it?
I have 4 more years, 3.5.
So by the time you hit the end of this contract, if you have paid off all of your debt and your restitution and everything, would you see yourself doing it again?
I've thought about it because, I mean, not doing it, you make more money not doing it, obviously, because they have to make money. Yeah. But it's also like at that point, if I have kids by that point, if I'm married, have a family, that's a retirement. You get, say at that point, it's worth $1 million. I get $1 million up front, put that in real estate or stock or whatever I do with it. That's cash money, you're getting that up front, but you also need the right, doesn't make sense to take all that money if you're not doing anything smart with it, because then you're getting screwed on the taxes aspect. At least when I got this money from these, I had a lot of write-offs with building the studio, the gear, buying out partners, because I did a lot of bad deals, giving up equity when I first started just to try to find my way. And now I finally own 100% of my podcast. But for the longest time, I was giving up like 40, 50, 60% of my business to investors that just weren't moving the needle for me.
Yeah, I just had so many questions because I know like Vlad and Flacco have like considered doing this in the past. So you're the first person I've met who actually did it. So I was very intrigued.
I mean, the process is so smooth. Like I was shocked. I was like, this got to be a scam. Like Adam, I filled out their online thing. They gave me 5 different levels, like 1 year deal, 2 year deal, 3 year deal for 10%, 15, all the way up to 50%. And they give you the amounts. I agreed to X amount. They send a contract. 2 weeks later, they send the money wired to your bank account. All legit.
It's pretty cool.
They're the real deal. Yeah. So, I mean, it benefited someone like me who had no cash flow.
Yeah.
Do I wish I did it now? Maybe not, only because I love that like revenue each month, but it's also like they held me down when I needed it. So it's my job to perform too, you know? And that YouTube, the more I build it up, the more it'll be worth in a few years time anyways.
Definitely. No, I'm glad that you had such a good experience with it though, for sure. Because I've not really thought about it. Yeah, if anything, I feel like I grew my business kind of slowly because of the fact that we were forced to grow on the basis of just the money that we were bringing in. And in retrospect, like who knows if, you know, now the internet feels like it's very much solidified, but what if in 2018 or 2019, I had got $100,000 and was able to kind of use that to build up what we were doing before a lot of our competitors did. Who knows what kind of position that might have got us in.
And maybe it's like, hey, I want to go open a restaurant or something, or a condo or something. I can use this money, get paid, do that. And you're starting to plan your exit while producing content. So that's something to think about too. Now that you have a kid and, you know, everything, you know, it's always something to think about in the future.
For sure. All right. So, Ian, tell them where they should go to observe your content if they haven't seen it yet.
So just ianbick.com is the easiest way. I got everything linked there. Spotify, Apple, YouTube, everything. It's all in one spot.
For sure. All right. Appreciate it, man.
You having me, man.
Thanks for coming through.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, bro.
My guy, Ian Bick. He's Bick accessible. It's an inside joke. Sorry. No Jumper, coolest podcast. Like, comment, and subscribe. Check out his channel. Ian Bick with the Blick.
Awesome.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
Everything 420 really is that one-stop shop. Whether you're looking for your go-to gear or something new and unexpected, they got options for days, and they're always dropping mystery boxes and deals. The E420 app is clean, shipping is quick, and they literally have everything. Don't forget to use code NOJUMPER at checkout.